I'm still awake by the muffled vibration of my cell phone against my leg, which is weird, considering I usually leave it on my nightstand, not in my pocket. I furrow my brows when it gives me another ring, extending and curling closer to the warmth of my blanket. I'm super warm. Like really warm. That's a little weird too. I guess I'm too tired, I can't bring myself to care a whole lot. Not even when my phone vibrates again. And someone's wrapping their arm around my waist. Ho, they're snuggling. Hold on, what? My eyes should open, heart lurching right into my throat when I'm greeted by the sight of a tuft of blonde hair and Victoria's sleeping face. Way too close to mine. Actually, she's totally knocked out, lips parted and face free of tension. Holy shit, I fell asleep in Victoria's room. I can feel all the heat rushing to my face and I hold my breath like they'll do anything if Victoria was going to wake up. She probably would have already, huh? Regardless, I can't stop myself from gulping hard. Now that I'm actually paying attention, I realize the position we're in. That's Victoria's arm around my waist. Oh god, oh my god. No wonder I'm so warm. It's hard not to be when your partner is tucked really securely against your side. I bite my lip, totally aware now of the little puffs of breath that come out of Victoria's lips brushing against my cheek. Awesome, I fell on her yesterday. Smooth, Max. Talking about another second to gather myself, I finally glance around the room. Judging by the sunlight streaming through Victoria's window, it's probably the morning. I know I fell asleep last night, but why didn't Victoria just wake me up? Out of all people, I thought she'd be the one to boot me out first. Instead, I'm on her bed. On her bed? I could have sworn we were on the couch, like last night. Oh my god, what happened last night? Oh jeez. I whisper without thought, pausing when Victoria sneezes and shifts next to me. The last thing I want to do is wake her up. I do turn my head to glance at her though. My nose brushes against some of her hair. I get a strong whiff of something sweet. Wowzers. She even went as far as to bring me to her bed when she totally could have left me on the couch. I don't know how she did it, but she did. I wonder what was going through her mind. But of course she wouldn't just let me have the bed all to myself. I don't blame her. I could see her sleeping on the couch. I couldn't see her sleeping on the couch either. I can't help but smile a bit, my tension easing up immensely, so Victoria does have a heart under all those mean remarks. Well, of course, especially after yesterday. Speaking of yesterday, I'm surprised that's Victoria's way of showing she cares, by totally calling me out. I carefully reach into my pocket for my phone, sticking my tongue out in concentration while I do. Victoria shifts a little and I freeze, but eventually I manage to whisk it out. Oh, just text from mom and dad, wishing me luck today. Thanks parents. Unfortunately, I frown when I read the time, 9 o'clock. It sucks, but when I should probably wake her up, the sunlight streaming through her windows is an indication that pretty soon it'll be perfect time for a shoot. Victoria looks so comfortable, like she's got no worries at all. It's nice to see her without that scowl on her face, or that real arrogant smirk she throws around. Should I? Okay, let's wake her up. No matter how tempting it is, I definitely should wake her up. She might be pretty pissed off when she finds out that I woke up and I didn't tell her. I take one last minute to bask in the glory that's sleeping Victoria before I reach and jostle her awake gently, shaking her arm. Hey Victoria? Victoria groans, furrowing her brows and burrowing into me further. I tense up and bite my lip, feeling myself blush so hard I'm confident my head's gonna explode. I had no clue Victoria was such a cuddler. Kind of cute. I'm comfortable too, but we should probably Victoria finally lifts her head, sleepily glaring at me. It's kind of funny actually. With all those upturned ends of her hair, there's nothing intimidating about her. I'm not sure what else I expected, but it wasn't this. Probably something dramatic. Instead, she's just scowling at me, for a second at least. Something seems to light up with comprehension in her eyes, and they widen a little before she's pulling away from me, rubbing at her face. What time is it? Her voice is thick with sleep. It's around 9. In the morning, I raise my brows and Victoria takes notice, groaning and waving in my direction. Don't answer that. It's too early. It's not that early. Victoria grumbles at that, shooting me a stare that's probably supposed to look more vicious than it is. I never pegged Victoria as someone who's not a morning person. With all those times I woke up to her blaring her hi-fi, you'd think the opposite. No, not really. Give me a second to actually wake up, Christ. Victoria turns from me, swinging her legs over the edge of the bed. She rubs at her eyes, and I watch the way the sunlight highlights her messy hair, the curve of her back in her tank top. It looks like a perfect shot. Thankfully, my camera is too far from me to do anything. I don't think Victoria would be happy if I just snuck a picture of her. I wonder if she knows how camera worthy she really is. Just ask her. Obviously she likes her photos taken of her so much. So, about last night. You fell asleep. Victoria says plainly, a hint of accusation snuck in there. I was way tired. You did keep me out the whole day yesterday. Is that a problem? No, you just didn't give me a heads up. She sighs dramatically. It's not my fault you're weak, Caulfield. Whatever, it was your loss. Oh right, we didn't get to finish the movie. A real tragedy. Hilarious. Kudos to you. She snorts. Also, wrong. You didn't get to finish, I did. I smile at that, amused. Is that seriously something to be proud of? Are you going to tell me what I missed? Victoria huffs and I watch her run her hands through her bed head and finally stand up. What? I can't just tell you that. There was too much going on. It won't have the same impact either. The same impact? Really? Victoria goes pink, I think. That can't be a trick of the lights. Yes, thanks for actually, listening. Anyways, I guess you'll have to come back later. That makes me straighten up, leaning on my elbows. For real? Victoria shrugs, walking away from me and towards her closet. Maybe, if we're actually competent during this photo shoot. Which translates to, if you actually get out of my bed. She might have let me sleep in it, but I should have known better than to think she wouldn't keep me out. Of course. Don't worry, I'm going. I stretch, actually sitting up. She's not wrong, we have to actually get ready for the shoot today. The shoot. I run my fingers through my hair, idly, blinking at Victoria's back. What she said last night. Was she serious about all that? Victoria actually has faith in me? She trusts me not to screw this up. I don't really know if I trust me to not screw it up either, but the more I think about Victoria's roundabout way of trying to encourage me, the more confident I feel. As for Victoria, with all that, you'd think she's totally prepared, but I can't help but feel like she's just as nervous as I am. You're making that face again. Victoria catches my eye in her mirror and I straighten my shoulders, standing at attention. Which face? According to you, there's tons of them. Smartass. Victoria turns to me, a hand on her hip. Now that she's facing me, I can see a little frown in her brow. The dweeby one you get whenever you're ridiculously deep in thought. Wow, thanks. Victoria hums. Seriously, what is it? Both are kind of the same, but what are you? Are you ready, I guess? I was just wondering if you're ready for today. It's kind of our first shoot together, so... That's seriously it? Victoria pokes up at one eyebrow at me, incredulous. Of course I'm ready for today. Are you telling me you're not? No, it's not that. I shrug, scratching at the back of my neck. I guess I'm still thinking about the contest, that's all. There's hardly anything to worry about, Max. Victoria shifts, turning around to stare at the mirror again. Our photos are going to come out fine, especially with Moa helping you out. I laugh at ridiculously dramatic flair to that. Right, I can always trust you. Of course, who else could help you wiggle out of that hippie style? I push myself off her bed, just to look up at her smirking in the mirror. It's not hippie, mostly, it's just normal life, mundane stuff, everyday. Life? Victoria repeats and then scoffs. What a hippie thing to say. Whatever. I say in amusement, reaching for my camera bag on the couch. Proof I'd been there last night. I scoop up my new clothes too. We'll just have to see about our stuff. That we will, Max. Now you need to actually look good, so go already. Yeah, I'm going. Au revoir. I shut the door after watching her wave me away distractedly. Au revoir. I repeat faintly, heading back across to my room. My footsteps feel so much lighter. We make it to the boardwalk in almost no time at all, thanks to Victoria's nice car and the lack of traffic this early in the morning. Not that traffic is ever much of an issue in Arcadia Bay anyways, but that's not exactly the point. Despite the near stillness of the streets, there's still quite a few people here, making the boardwalk look just lively enough for our shoot, I hope, for Victoria's sake and mine. I actually can't tell too much, and that worries me. Maybe I should have planned ahead. I didn't exactly think we'd be out here so early, so maybe I'd been too reliant on the hustle and bustle of the boardwalk to get our shoot going. Maybe if we sleep in a little longer, we wouldn't be having this issue. Victoria's bed was super comfy, and I seriously wouldn't have mind staying a little longer, even though I know Victoria is super serious about this shoot. A part of me wishes she would have just slept in for a little longer. I glance over at her, watching as she shuts off the car, running her hand through her hair. No way, get your mind out of the gutter, Max. The anxiousness crawling down my back makes me bounce my leg a little, and I clutch at my camera bag, ready to get out there and scope out the area. Victoria glances over at me, unbuckling her seatbelt. Christ, you look like you're ready to run a mile a minute. Just ready to get out there and snap some photos. I shrug weakly, and I'm not exactly lying. I just don't feel the need to tell her that I'm worried about her liking the spot I've picked, considering the lack of subjects. Not what I planned at all. Aren't you? Victoria scoffs at me, threading her fingers through her hair and shaking her head at me. Me? Please, I'm more than ready. Don't I look the part? I scoff this time, and when Victoria shoots me a look, I shoot her a little smile in return. What, are you expecting me to tell you how amazing you look? Because I didn't know my opinion mattered that much. Victoria rolls her eyes at me. Not surprising you didn't, considering you don't know a lot of things. Whoa, so not the response I was expecting. Before I can help myself, my lips split into a grin at the implication. So you're saying it does matter to you? Well, Victoria, I'm flattered. Victoria's eyes widen, and then she scowls at me. I know for a fact that my eyes aren't deceiving me this time when I see her cheeks flush pink. Way to go, Mad Max. You made her blush. Wait, let me just save just in case. Yeah. Oh, shut up. I didn't mean that. I open my mouth to say something else, but Victoria clears her throat loudly at me, cutting me off. Enough about that. We have actual real important matters to discuss. About you in particular. About me? Yeah, about you. Victoria gives me a once over again, and honestly, it doesn't help my nerves in the least. You're nervous. Oh, I rub at the back of my neck, shrugging my shoulders weakly again. I should have known Victoria would catch on. She's not exactly stupid. Not that I make it hard anyways. With the frequency my leg is bouncing, I can't help it. I'm just full of energy to burn. A little, without any warning. Victoria reaches over to stop my leg, pressing it down firmly against the seat. I fight the desire to blush. It doesn't really work, and I just feel my ears heat up at the touch. My leg is totally trapped, all because Victoria is literally holding it down. Obviously, but I still see doubt vibrating like an energized puppy. She taps her fingers twice against my knee. Like you've been doing all morning is going to make this any easier. Victoria removes my hand from my knee and opens the car door, sliding out smoothly, like she hadn't just forced me to stop vibrating. As if it totally worked. I know, I guess you're right. I push open the door, fumbling with my bag for an instant before I actually manage to get out. You guess? I am. In any case, shouldn't I be the one freaking out? Victoria places a hand on her hip, raising a brow at me, and I raise a brow in return, waiting for her explanation. Since I let you drag me out here in the first place? Oh, of course she'd try to pull something like that. All I did is grin. You let me? I'm pretty sure I didn't drag you here. You let me pick you, know? What happened to giving my amateur taste a chance, huh? I watch Victoria try to swallow back a smile, and it totally reaches her lips anyways. Technicalities, Max. And there she goes, waving her hand at me dismissively, her eyes scanning the boardwalk like she's looking for something in particular. I don't know if she's finding it, because I follow her lead, and my gaze landing on a few people miling up and down the boardwalk. I recognize some students from Blackwell, from Blackwell, most of which I don't really talk to. Others are just locals, most of which are fishermen. Today Victoria doesn't immediately come up with anything to say, and that's worrying in itself. I scan her face, catching the little crease between her brows. Let's see, maybe if you say one of these is boring, she might change location. It's just right. Well, she does seem hesitant. But why does our shot need to have so many people? Maybe just a few? Maybe we don't have to be the subjects or anything. I'm gonna try this. Boring, I know. Okay, wrong. No, can't choose again. No, I'm really afraid I won't get the kiss or something. Wait, hold on. Load. Yeah, let's do this again. I know I'm not supposed to like go back in time and try to change things, but okay, let's try confidence. Just right? Even though I'm completely positive that's not at all what Victoria's trying to say, not if I'm judging the look on her face correctly. Victoria turns to look at me, tugging her brows together. Not exactly what I was getting at, but sure. Well, sure is not what I was going for, but I scratch at my head, checking out surroundings again. There's definitely enough to work with, and even if there's not, I'm pretty sure that me and you can pull anything off. Yep, good confidence. Victoria blinks, seeming almost shocked again. I fight the urge to flash at my genuine statement, but I mean it. After everything Victoria said, I'm not going to back out now. I refuse to. I like the sound of that. Looks like you're finally pulling your head out of your ass, Max. Hey. Victoria smirks at me. I'm being completely serious. Confidence suits you well. The way Victoria says that makes me bite my lip, smiling at the assertion. I like the sound of that too. At the very least, Victoria's clear faith in us helps to ease out some of the tension I'm feeling. We can do this. I know we can do this. It's no time for me to be wallowing in whatever stupid self-doubt I have. We won't get anywhere like that. My first instinct is to reach for my camera bag, though I'm very promptly stopped when Victoria puts her hand on my arm. Not so fast, Caulfield. Oh, she wants to take it with her camera. I tilt my head at her, and I wonder if she can actually see the question marks above my head. I think she wants to get right into it. She's staring down at me curiously, a slight slant to her lips. What's the problem this time? Wow. I'm kidding, what is it? I just have something I want to ask you. Okay, save again. I retract my hand from my camera bag, and I think that makes Victoria realize she's still got her hand laid over mine. She pulls it away quickly, instead moving to lean on the trunk of her car. Like that makes whatever she's gonna say next less intimidating. I cross my arms over my chest, waiting patiently. Go for it. I wanted to ask you why you care so much about... Victoria gestures to our surroundings, and I assume she's talking about the people, or lack in this case. Oh. I wanted you to like it. This sounds very motherly. It's for your benefit. And it sounds a bit assertive. Well, maybe we should go for assertive. Maybe it's because I actually wanted you to, I don't know, like it. Since you let me pick, I didn't want to bring you somewhere that, you know. I trail off dumbly, realizing it sounds a lot more ridiculous when I say it out loud. That and Victoria staring at me oddly, eyebrows raised. She crosses her arms, breathing in softly and releasing in a slow sigh. You what? Wanted my approval? Wow, geez, that makes it sound so official. Victoria snorts softly. If not that, then what? I just didn't want you to be disappointed. I thought it'd be nice if this made you... I shrug, rubbing at the back of my neck and ignoring the way my mouth feels as dry as sandpaper. Happy. Victoria straightens at my words, and I hear her take a deep breath. Oh. Christ, Max. Victoria has to collect herself, and really, I'm not in a rush. When she finally does manage something, she heaves an almost annoyed sigh. It's seriously not that big of a deal. It's not. Victoria flicks her wrist at me, resting her elbow against the car and standing up straighter. Sure, this place isn't like fucking Seattle or something, I know. But people are not, like I said literally a few minutes ago, it hardly matters. Whether or not there's any idiots around to photograph, it's not going to stop us from taking remarkable images. Yeah, I guess you're right. I avert my gaze from Victoria, almost bashfully at the smug smirk she gives me. Of course I'm right. Just remember, Max, all these people aren't my partner. You are. I'm silent for a second, and I can't help myself. I laugh a little, although I feel my ears heating up, my face flushing red at the way Victoria says that. I can't help that I love the way that sounds. Victoria, I'm sorry, but that was pretty tacky, like super cheesy. Victoria blushes a little too brightly, and it makes me grin again, taking control of the situation. What? Fuck off, oh my god, ungrateful. No, it's fine. It was kinda cute. That seriously come up without me having to think about it, and even I'm surprised about it. But at the same time, I'm not so worried about Victoria's reaction. Uh-oh. Victoria's eyes widen and she covers her face with her hand, scowling in the other direction. You're the worst. I take it all back. So Cinderella. You can't, it's too late. You're stuck with me. From behind Victoria's hand, she snorts. Fuck, unfortunately. Yeah, okay, sure, Victoria. I'm totally aware that I've probably got the stupidest grin on my face. And then I remember we should probably make an effort to start our project, now that we've actually completely settled down. I take a few steps back, prompting Victoria to follow me with a raised brow. So, I know it's no Seattle, but we should probably get started. Victoria hums in agreement at that, and we take this time to pace down the boardwalk. Similarly quiet in our search for the perfect shot. Or maybe that's too ambitious at this point. We're just trying to find anything to look at. Victoria? Something's been bugging me ever since she brought it up earlier. Maybe it shouldn't, but when she mentioned Seattle, I couldn't help myself. What? Okay, save it again just in case. Victoria's response is curt, and I frown at the sound. I don't exactly respond quick, prompting her to turn to me. She pauses and then sighs, speaking easier. I can tell she's tense despite all that talk from earlier. Sorry, what is it? I was wondering, about? Seattle, you came from there, right? Victoria seems to be taken completely off guard at the question. She shrugs after a moment. Yeah, what about it? The thought of Seattle makes me feel unsure, an awkward discomfort getting in the pit of my stomach. So in all actuality, I'm not sure what I'm actually asking about. Just that I wanted to know something about it. Do you really think it's better than Arcadia Bay? You're just full of loaded questions today. Victoria speaks cautiously and then she purses her lips. I do, I guess. It's hopelessly plain here. At the thought of that comparison, I hum almost absentmindedly. All I can do is grasp at the strap on my bag. Ever since I moved here, I haven't really thought about it much. Probably for the best, I think. It's not like I left much behind. I only really had Fernando and Kristen to keep me company. And as amazing friends as they'd been, coming back to Chloe had far outweighed that. I almost feel like an asshole for thinking like that. I guess so. You're right that there's way more to look at over there. And you'd know that how? It takes me a second to process Victoria's question, and then I stop and turn to face her, my eyes wide. Wait, do you think I've lived here my whole life? Oh. Victoria stops, and for a second I watch her sputter helplessly. Oh my goodness. Are you telling me you haven't? I grin really wryly at her. Sorry to disappoint, but nope. Oh. It's actually pleasant to hear Victoria stump for once. Like she's totally at a loss with this information. Or maybe at not knowing it. As great as it is to have her speechless, I decide to help her out. But yeah, I used to live up in Seattle until I came back here. You came back for Blackwell, I'm assuming. At that, I can't help it. My smile drops a little, and I run my thumb anxiously down the strap of my bag. She's right, of course. She totally knows it's right. It wouldn't bother me so much if it didn't make me remember all the grief I caused Chloe. Oh, she's finally admitting it. Kind of. There was also Chloe. Right, Chloe. Victoria grinds that out as sarcastically as she can. It actually makes me wince slightly. She seems to catch on to my reaction though, and surprisingly, I watch her sigh and soften up. Please, don't even. Are you seriously telling me you came back for Chloe? Maybe. Blackwell is a big deal, Max. An old best friend isn't. Oh. No, she did not just say that. Victoria's wrong about that. Even if I did initially come back because I'd heard about Blackwell, that doesn't mean... That's not true. Victoria tenses, and then suddenly she places her hand onto my arm. Something about that gesture is so off that my irritation is replaced with confusion. Chill, that's not what I meant. What I meant is that for fuck's sake, Max, it's not a crime for you to put your own aspirations first. People talk so much shit about being selfish, but that doesn't mean you're not allowed to be. Well, that's kinda true. Victoria speaks quickly, although her voice is low and gentle, she's trying to get it all into my skull. I swallow dryly. I guess so. But at the same time, I can't help but feel a little bad. You know, Victoria purses her lips at me, sliding her hand down my arm. Apparently not by much, though I understand what you're trying to get at. Your insistence on being so kind is fucking nauseating, Max. Well, have you ever considered that your insistence on being mean is too? I tease, but there's something deeply serious about it. Victoria watches me and then snaps her jaw shut like she's got nothing to say. For a second. Maybe we both have things to learn. You think? Maybe, but right now I'd rather focus on this. Victoria changes the subject so quickly I can't even be sure she said it. Not that it matters, not when I already know about it. I smile, scratching at the back of my neck. You're right, but I was thinking. Victoria groans, as melodramatic as ever, wrinkling her nose at me. Something you've been doing too much of today, apparently. Quit it, I'm being serious. Mostly, my stomach growls dangerously, and Victoria freezes for a second. She catches my gaze and I blush a little. Oh, are you? She quips sarcastically, and I offer her a sheepish grin. We might work better on a full stomach. God, you're a mess. The words come out in a little sigh, and I think they almost sound fonder than they should be. Without any more complaining, she waves her hand at me. Your choice, Max. After we got something to eat, I ended up being able to convince Victoria to loosen up a bit and check out the shops with me. I thought it'd be better off that way, since we obviously weren't finding anything before. In a sense, it did. We spent so much time window shopping and browsing that before we knew it, the sun is high in the sky and the wooden planks are filled with pedestrians. At least as much as it will be. The plus to all of this is that Victoria seems a lot more at ease now. Victoria's walking up ahead of me, and I got my camera in my hands. It usually feels heavy when I'm burdened by the thought of assignment, but right now it feels light. I'm not really focused on anything in particular as I look through my viewfinder. I'm just imagining photos that could be, testing the lighting. And then Victoria whirls around to face me, mouth open, hand on her hip. Where exactly do you want to go next? By accident, and my finger presses down on the shutter. The reaction is so instinctive, so immediate that I don't even realize I've taken a picture until I'm faced with Victoria's wide eyes through my viewfinder. Did you just? Lowering my camera, I bite my lip and take the photo from my camera, waving it once, twice. When I check it, I grin at the shot. Victoria, mid-speech, standing amongst the few pedestrians of Arcadia Bay. What I love most is the fluidity of the shot. Natural. Victoria's perfect posture amongst the stream of people. You look good. Victoria straightens, pulling out her camera with ease. She rolls her eyes at my expression, probably, then points it right at me. I hardly have any time to adjust, standing with the photo and my camera. Smile, Caulfield. I already am.